A basic explanation, since it's too hard to film and do this. When I run these through to make masks, I cut it 6.5 inches by 9.5 inches. That way it includes the seam allowance, so I get a 6 by 9 mask. It's the pleated style. What I'll do is I'll end up running this through and I'll sew it, and then as it just starts to get there, then I literally have my next one lined up with its backing, and then I sew it there, and I end up with a big line of them. And then basically once that's done is I turn them around and then I sew the other side, and that way I end up with a big stack. When if I run out, then as I did out of bobbin previously, I just back stitch a little bit before that, and then I just keep going down the line. There were maybe 4 or 5 of them that the seam allowance was wrong, so rather than have to seam rip anything, because that just takes too long, I just went ahead and I just sewed over it one more time, because if anything, it just reinforces it a little bit more. So what I'll be doing now that I have a bunch of that are completed, with the top and the bottom edges sewed, is I'll turn them right side out and then I'll iron them all. What I'll also do after that is I'll fold the pleats in it, and while I'm doing the iron, I'll have the pleats ironed. And then I have previously cut basically bias tape that I made, and it's 18 inches on the top, about 12 inches on the bottom, and about 2 inches, because once this is all pleated, it'll only need about that 2 inches. And rather than like mess with the seam or anything, I basically will just fold the bias tape over that little like pocket edge, and that'll seal it. And you can sew it down twice, and then you get a really strong edge, and it's about the quickest way I can do it. Before I do that, once I've had these all ironed down, I'll run them back through the machine, just through the straight, and then I'll do an over-the-top seam there and an over-the-top seam there. And that way at the top of the mask, that seam right there will let me slide a little piece of metal, and I'll be able to get that real nice curved sealed piece right around the nose. And that prevents it from, helps prevent glasses from fogging up. Because if you have that little edge and your breath is shooting up, your glasses are just going to be a hot mess. But that's some of the basics for how I do masks.